Okay, back again with real money trades for my masterclass over at simpleswitch.teachable.com. If you go over there and take my masterclass, it will get you up to speed on what I'm doing with this real money trading series, growing a small account in the futures market and with swing trading. And I chose the futures market to go with this because I don't have to worry about the PDT rule and I can day trade. In my masterclass, I take you from day one to I want to be a trader, then selecting a broker, opening an account, then teaching you how I build winning strategies that fits you. So I call it the PLG, personality, lifestyle, and goals. But not just that, strategies that have a proven statistical probability of success. Once we build our strategies, then we build a trade plan to go with those strategies. Two completely different things, traders. You need a good strategy and a good trade plan to be successful. Then I sim trade those strategies, and now we're into the real money trading portion of building a winning strategy. That is what this series is about. I plan on trading these accounts until the end of 2023, and we'll see how far we can grow them in 1 year's time. Now, I don't know if these strategies are going to be successful. We're going to find this out together, and if they're not, hopefully I can tweak them along the way to make them successful. I started my futures account with $1,700 because that was the bare minimum I felt like I could start with. And then I started my swing trading account with $2,000. Again, I felt that was the bare minimum I can start with. In my masterclass, I explain all these details and why I make the decisions, what you're seeing on the screens, the charts that you're seeing, all the tools, all that stuff. This class can benefit beginner traders and pro traders alike. I do trade with my algorithm, but you don't need that in order to benefit from my masterclass. You can trade with whatever tool it is for you. If you're thinking about taking somebody else's class, my masterclass can help you choose what other strategy might be right for you. This way, if you're going to spend a lot of money to buy somebody else's strategy, it would really be good if that strategy would fit you. And I teach you all about that in my masterclass, so go check it out. But for now, let's get into today's video. All right, so here we are in the futures market with MGC, waiting for this candle to close in 3, 2, 1, and we're in short. So we got our short set up, green down here with the algo going to red, dashes below the white line. We're in short, gonna mark it up, OCO order. I sold to get in because I shorted, so I'm gonna buy to get out. Okay, now I wanna speed bump this if it does go the other direction. So once, I'll get this down here. So I'm gonna go ahead down, I'm gonna change this 2 to a 4. And by doing that, it'll automatically reverse my trade if it breaks this level. Okay, so now I got the 4 up there just by replacing the order, and I added 2 more to it. So now we got our target at 2, our stop with 4 to reverse. We're in the MGC right now in the futures market on the 15-minute candle, trading red light, green light with the speed bump. All right, we'll see how this trade goes. I'll bring the conclusion to you. Okay, so here we are with that trade still going. So I just wanted to show you this from the last time we talked about MGC. I said this box has a lot of significant meaning in the market. There's a strong market structure in here. So for supports and resistance. So we saw it get into this box and then it rallied out, got back into the box, rallied out, got back in here, rallied out, right? So clearly, and again, and now we're coming back down. So, and the algo is triggered a trade to the short side. And there's also a draw. This box is a draw to bring it back down in here to either get support and break out or to completely break down. So I also added the trend lines in here. So you can see there's a couple touches on this one. You know, it's not from the bottom. It's just, I mean, this is the way I do trend lines, basically where the majority of touches are in an area. It's not for an exact number. It's more for a reference. I could also have done it. Like this, come up here, and I could have went from here and looked for a majority of touches. You know, it's kind of subjective. Do I do it here? Do I do it here? Do I do it here? Right? It makes a big difference where it is. So there's a lot of different ways you can draw your trend lines. This is the way I do it from my experience. So right now we see, and sometimes I'll do it off the bodies too. The purpose of this trend line is to show you that the algo is telling me that this is the target. And if I draw this trend line like this, it also intersects with that target. And then if I look at this trend line, mid box and top of the box, the target is just after top of the box and, you know, above midline of the box. Why that matters is I'm looking at this and saying, do I move my limit order down here and try to squeeze more out? Or do I just let this hit the target, call it a day, and move on? And when I have an intersecting trend line there, also this significant area of the, this box is support resistance and has been significant for a while, there's a good possibility we're going to get rejection again right off of my target price here. So, which is right here inside the box. I might get rejection before I even get to my target. So because of that, looking at that from a market structure standpoint, I'm not even going to bother trying to squeeze more out on this. I'm just going to go ahead and let this trade come off the table and call it a day. We also have this, a low, a high, a little bit of a higher high if this is what you're counting it as. Then we have a higher low, and then we kind of have the same high, right? Didn't do nothing. Then we have a higher low than that, and then we make a new high. We're going to make a higher low here for a higher high. Is that the trend that's continuing? If that's the case, then I'm probably not going to get to my target. I might fall just a little bit short. So I'm just going to leave this here, let this get into the zone, and then I'm going to go ahead and right-click right here and put create an alert, signal, at or below, and create. All right, because I want to know when it gets here and touches this, because I want to start monitoring this trade. And then if I have to get out a little bit early, I get out a little bit early on MGC on this case because there's a lot of stuff working against me. Algo's confident that it's going to hit this target, though. So I'd rather take a look at it, start trailing a stop, and maybe I do squeeze more out if I trail a tight stop, or maybe I just exit with a little bit of profit. And then if it doesn't get to the target and it does reverse, I will still jump into this trade as a speed bump, even though I made profit on the downside. So a lot of stuff going on. We're going to show you how this whole thing concludes and what I end up doing with it as soon as we get there. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. All right, so I got my alert. So I'm back in here. I'm going to sit here and watch this. I'm going to go ahead and move my limit order down to that other line we showed you down towards the middle of this box. And I'm going to give this a little go. So if this can break this level right here, this may have a little bit of a sell-off. We'll see what happens here. This candle's got about 2 minutes before it closes, a minute and a half. Will we make another green and keep stair-stepping and maybe get some momentum back to the upside? Or will we start to see a quick sell-off, get rid of all the sellers, let the buyers come back in, and then take off? So it'll be one of those things is about to happen. We're going to figure out which one it is. So I want to move my limit order down here so I can capitalize on squeeze a little more out. But I don't want to get too greedy because once we touch this, right here, we're already in the danger zone for a trend change to go back up. So I don't want to make it too greedy on it, but I do want to give a small opportunity to try to squeeze a little more. Actually, we're just going to go ahead and move this down here for now. Because if it does break this, it could break it big. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then I can move my stop. I just need to make sure that I take away the 4 when I do this. What I could do, if it boosts, yeah, we'll just do this. We're gonna take this order off right now, and we're gonna go to break even, and we're gonna put our 2 contracts in. So this line right here in Thinkorswim shows me break even. So I'm gonna go to break even plus a tiny bit to help with commissions. There we go, above that red candle. Perfect. So now we'll see what happens. If it does want to come back up from here, then I'm happy to be out of the trade. But I'm going to go and let this thing ride, sit here and watch it, and then see if we could squeeze some more out without being too greedy. Okay, so we're through the target right now. So let's see what this thing does. We still got new candle opening already happened. So we got about 13 minutes left of this candle. So quite a bit of time to reverse, leave a nice big tail or shadow, and go all the way back up, right? So yeah, we're going to give this a little bit of time, and then we're going to see what happens. We still got a lot of spread right here on the algo, and we still got some potential weakness here in the algo as well. So this looks really good right now for to continue squeezing more out. The reason why I look at the time in the candle is because if it's going to close soon, chances are it's going to make that wick or the shadow. If it's got like 15 minutes or 10 minutes left like it does now, if it's got like 10 minutes left like it does now, it's got plenty of time to make a nice big red candle like this one and get us to a nice bonus money, if you will, squeezing some more out. It also gives us some chance to try to break below this and really sell off. So I don't know, though. We'll see. This is going to make a lower low. All right, it's getting ready to do it. We'll see. Is it going to do it? Really the low's down here, but candle bodies matter. So, all right, it's thinking about it. Over here in Thinkorswim, we got this, looks like a little more selling pressure than buying. So I don't want to be too greedy. So as I move my cursor up and down on my chart here, you can see over in the order window, you can see where the highlight is moving. So it's kind of showing you where I'm looking at, where I'm looking at right now. I'm getting greedy. I'm feeling a little bit greedy, but for good cause, I think. So let's see what happens here. All right, so here we are getting ready to squeeze some more out. So we got about 7 minutes left for this candle to close. Plenty more room to the downside, but I don't want to be too greedy. We're approaching our bounce area. We're in our bounce box. So I'm going to go ahead and put my exit in right now. So, oops, I don't want to do that. There we go. Only want to have one of those in. I don't want to reverse my position. So if we back up and get out, all good. And then if we can trail this some more, we'll trail it some more. Okay, there we go. Out of the trade. Don't want to be too greedy on it. And all good. Super happy with that. Let's put that in the My Strategy Manager and then show you where the count is and what everything looks like. Okay, so here we are with MGC. We were short. Got in at 1939 or 0.9. Our target was 1926.8. So our target was $4.10. We were risking $4.20 initially. But with squeezing some more out, we ended up getting out at 1926.2. So we ended up with more than what we were risking, which is fantastic. And we got out with more than we were expecting. So money, money, money. So all good. And it's continuing to go down over there on that other chart. But I don't care. That's for somebody else to make that money. I made my money. All good. So, and then if you're using the My Strategy Manager, just a reminder, over on the right-hand side here is the futures multiplier. So with MGC, it's basically $10 for every dollar that it moves. So I put a 10 in there. With MES, it's $5 for every dollar it moves. So that's why there's a 5 in there. So if you can use a multiplier to help do the math for you when you're trading the futures, because it's kind of funky the way it's leveraged, and trying to tally your profits and stuff like that, or what your profit loss and all that stuff was. All right, cool. So let's go check out where we're at with the account right now with that nice $84. So let's go look at, yeah, we'll go up top first. All right, here we are. So again, started this account with 1,700 back in November 2022. And here we are, January, whatever that was, 22nd. Right here's the date, January 22nd, 2023. So only a few months, and we just recently added MGC to increase our profits or our profit potential, because now we have more trades than just trading the MES. Question of why wouldn't I just add 4 or 5 more tickers in and really start growing the account? And that's because then I risk not being able to hold all of them at the same time. Right now I can hold MGC and MES at the same time. The account has grown enough to where I can now do that. And if I have a bunch of tickers and I can only hold 1 or 2 at a time, then I have to get lucky. I did a video on that. I think it's on my 90% win rate kind of video. But I have to get lucky, and I don't want to have to get lucky. What I mean by that is if I bought MES and MGC, and then my other 3 tickers set up, and they were all 3 winners, and MGC and MES were losers, it's like, man, then I had a losing day when I had 3 winners that showed up, right? Then the next time I trade 2 of those other ones, and now MES and MGC are winners, and those other ones are losers. See what happens? And then I can get into a cycle of having to be lucky and picking the winners for the day. Whereas if I just have 1 ticker and it's got an 80% win rate, 90% win rate, as long as I trade every setup that happens, I know what the numbers are probably going to be. And I could track those numbers and see if it trends down below the 70% range and get out and stop trading that ticker while I'm still in profit. I'm still making money. At 70%, I'm still making money. I'm just not making as much money. So now it's time to find a new ticker that's going to make me the money. So that's the way I like to do it. And that's something to think about if you're trying to handle a lot of tickers at the same time. Do you have to get lucky? The other thing is the strategy you're thinking about trading. Do you have to trade every setup in order to get those results? There's traders out there that'll tell you, oh, I have the perfect setup, pay me $1,000 and I'll show it to you. The first question you should ask is, do I have to trade every single opportunity? There's a trader out there that does a list, basically a daily list of all the tickers to trade, the entries and all that stuff, and it's a nice looking list. Problem is there's like 30 tickers on there, and they'll be like, oh, I have a 65% win rate if you trade all of those tickers, because it's 30 tickers. Do you have an account that's going to be able to do that, or are you just trading one share of every one? Like, what does that really look like? And you have to get in all of them around the same time. Like, can you do it? Like, does it really make sense? So, yeah, something to ask yourself. Are you trying to juggle too many tickers? And do you have to trade every opportunity to have the success rates that are advertised? So with my strategies, I trade every opportunity for my trading plan. So if my trading plan is just every Monday from 10 to 11, then that's what it is. As long as I'm trading every Monday from 10 to 11, I get my results. If I'm going to skip some Mondays, then my results might change. It might get better, right? I might have skipped losing days. So it all depends. But anyway, here we are. We're at $2,695 in the account now, up $995. So pretty awesome. Let's go check out our scaling ladder. Oh, I was hoping we were there. We're still not there yet. We got to get one more bar here, and then once this one turns green. So we're looking for 2 more bars, and then we'll be into the $200 zone. So we got a few $100 more we got to make, and then we'll get there. We're getting close. Oh, I can't wait, because then we're really going to start to grow this account faster. So MES, I can't really take. It'll be a little while before I can scale up enough in the MES to do 200. What that will do is on the sniper setup, which is in a 4-hour candle, those bigger moves, sometimes there are $200 moves in there and I have to skip them because I don't have it's not part of the plan. But with MGC, I can add a third contract, and now I can start trading in the $140, $150 range. And then as soon as I do a few of these, I'll be able to do 4 contracts with MGC and easily be there. So yeah, it opens the door for a lot of opportunity to grow this account a lot faster. So let's go over to the dashboard real quick, and I'll show you what's happening with swing trades as well. So here we are in January still. So far, January, again, $2,660 for January is not accurate. It's because I carried over $1,900 from the year before. So, and then, what was it? K, that swing trade closed out. That's why this has actually gone down $60, because it was a losing trade. That's that swing trade with K, but it's entered into the last year's logs. But I did adjust it here. So so basically we're up about $760 for the month of January. And this is not bad. I mean, when you're talking about slow growing an account, very consistent, starting with $3,700, you can see here is the total starting balance, and we're up about 700. So far so good. I'm happy with that just on the month of January. Total, we're up let's see here. So $2,660 is what we're up total. Another $1,000 and we'll have this doubled. I was hoping to have that by the end of January, but I don't know. We got like a week and a half left. Maybe I can do it by the end of January, because then we'd be doubling every 2.5 months or so. So that would be pretty awesome. And then as the futures market allows me to scale up, I can double even faster. So if we can get these accounts doubling every month and a half, then this is gonna be pretty epic. Because we take this, then we'll be, let's just say it's $7,000, and then we end up with, we double it the next month. It's 14, 28, right? Double it minus some trading days. Maybe we're at 50. Double it again. We're at 100K in the account. Another month later, we were 200K, and then 4, and then 8, right? See the doubling? It gets pretty insane. It's just that's the beginning where it's that slow grow on the scaling ladders of $100, and you're like, this is taking forever to make money. But it's important because this is my time to make sure that everything's working, before I really risk a lot of money. If I go slow with it, over here, we're at, this is $200 spread across 4 to 5 tickers. So we're risking like $50 or less, $40 to $50 per trade on swing trading. And it could take a month for that trade to finish. And you're like, man, it took a month to make $50. But that slow grow is important for me to be able to make sure I preserve my capital, make sure what I'm doing actually works, right? It worked in the sim. It worked when we built the strategy. It worked in the sim. Now we're with real money. Need to make sure it's still working and my emotions can handle it. Do I need to adjust my plan? And again, trading plan and a trading strategy are 2 completely different things. And I go over all the details of that over at my site, simpleswitch.teachable.com. If you don't know how to build a strategy or build a trade plan, definitely want to check it out. It's a free class, doesn't cost you anything. And then if you're thinking about buying somebody's strategy or trying to join somebody's deal, definitely go there and take that class first. Definitely go take that class first and learn about you and about trade plans and strategies, so that when you start shopping people's stuff that you want to buy because you don't want to do your own, that you have a better idea of what might fit you, right? So you have a little more information when you're making your selection before you invest a bunch of money into somebody's stuff. And again, it's a free class, doesn't cost you anything. So the master class at simpleswitch.teachable.com. So anyway, so yes, so in the beginning, emotionally, it's pretty tough because the account's growing so slowly. But at the same time, you know, if you get into a trade and you're nervous and you're freaking out and you're sweating and everything like that, right? It might be because you have too much on the table. You know, if I'm risking $1,000 per trade over in a future scaling ladder, when we get to this point where I'm risking $800 a trade, once I got 11,000 in my account, it's going to feel a little bit scary. Except that the good thing is, because of the scaling ladder, it's not my money. I'm so far away from my money of 1,700 that it's not nearly going to be as bad. But if I was risking 800 of my own money and I only had like $3,000 in my account, that's going to freak me out a bit. It's going to be hard to make proper decisions, not let my emotions get to me. It's going to be scary. And at the same time, traders, if you found yourself in that spot, ask yourself, if you're just risking $5, right, on an account that had $3,000 in it, you're risking $5, would you still feel that way? Would you still be FOMOing? Would you still get out early, you know, before your target? Would you stay in your loser after it's a loser and you're supposed to be out? Would you still be holding on if it was only $5? Would you be shaking and sweating and like paranoid the whole time if it was just $5 out of $3,000, or would you not care, right? So something to think about. If you are freaking out, maybe you just have too much risk on the table. So, but yeah, look in your trading plan, look at your scaling ladders, and figure out what the right scale or scale up is for you. And then with a scaling ladder, a proper scaling ladder, as this grows and as I start taking losses and it goes backwards, it helps preserve my account too. As it starts to go backwards, so does my risk. The amount of money I'm risking gets smaller and smaller to help preserve my account so that I can weather the storms that are going to come. You're going to have bad days, bad weeks, and bad months. And I need to be able to survive those so that I can take advantage of the good days, good weeks, and good months. So anyway, so that's where we're at with the accounts. Go to the dashboard, combined accounts, futures account. You can see right here, 995 so far is where we're at. On the swing account, we made $1,600, $2,000 investment, and we've made $1,600 so far. So that's pretty awesome. We're almost doubled our swing trade account. That should happen here shortly in the next couple months or month or so. We're in some good trades right now. We'll see what they do. Futures, we started with 1,700. We're at 995, so we're halfway there, a little more than halfway there to doubling that. So looking good. Commissions definitely hurt a little bit on there, but not too bad. So that's where we're at. All right, we'll see you on the next video.